Hey lil ole baby mamas and nasties. What is up? Can you believe that we finally got chapter 3 after like 269,420 years? It is like a freak-leaking Christmas miracle. My gosh, it is like I was on vacation and then got old and died and got reincarnated like 1,000 times, and then finally on my 1,001st life I was like, it's time to finally write chapter 3 of my best-selling audiobook The Man on the Moon. But yeah, a chapter is already good to go, so enjoy all of that good nasty Jack content you love so much. Away we go. Oh. Chapter 4, The Great Speeder Chase. We revved the engines of those super dank fast slow dangerous safe speeder bikes like a bunch of motorcycle gang boys. Except Debbie, the lady who revved hers like a motorcycle gang girl. Nice. I was like, dudes, this is so exciting, and I gave baloney Bobby Rob Bob the Bill Robert a quick glance and he looked so freaking excited, and I was like, good for him, what a cute good boy. We took off with the flash and a loud vroom. It was nutty riding these cool speeder, like for real. If you ever get a chance, it's crazy for real. It feels like some real nice juice. Han Solo looked over at me and was like, wow nasty Jack, your swag is wet as frick. I was like, you'll be like LeBron James the first, go hard in the paint. I made a little toot that you could barely hear over the roar of the speeder bikes. We were all laughing and having such a good time we didn't even notice the funky spooky stuff going on behind us. I looked behind me, screamed, "Oop, my space suit," and cried a little single tire. There was a steady wave of dust billowing off the surface of the moon, which seemed to be coming from an undulating tangle of limbs. It was the monsters. It looked like there were so many of them. I was too scared to count, but there were definitely at least like 3 of them, but that's how high I can count without my fingers, so I actually have no clue. Alerted by my brave and virile scream, everyone whipped their necks around and saw the oncoming terror. Han Solo looked really cool as he whipped his Olay blaster out and started shooting into the swarm. Yeet skeet the neat freak beak beak, he shouted, and we could see a few bodies tumble and slow down some of the other creatures. But they were still gaining on us. Chewie said, I think. It could have also been I couldn't really tell because I can't understand him anyway. I was like, well, these dumb creatures should really know to never bring a stabby stick to a yeet cannon boogaloo. They seemed to be gaining on us, but we were just on the cusp of the moon's dark side. It was simultaneously surreal and overwhelmingly gorgeous. The sunlight quickly dwindled and the only visions ahead of us were the desolate and barren surface of the moon in the headlights of our sweet speeder bikes, and the glorious twinkle of the stars, unabated, intense, and a reminder of just how far I was from everything I had ever known. Debbie pointed ahead and yelled, just in front of us is going to be a mineshaft that will lead us straight to the secret base where Julie the lit girl is. We saw the entrance to the mineshaft and holy cow, it was so small. Like maybe 2 nasty jacks tall and 5 nasty jacks wide. We all tightened into a formation that would allow us to go in one at a time, Debbie first, me second, Baloney Bob third, and Han Solo and Chewie in the back riding tandem because their speeder bike skills are so nutty crazy good, like almost as good as mine. Because don't forget that the story is about me lol. So yeah. We plunged into the gaping mouth of the mine. We could barely see ahead of us and there were a bunch of twists and turns. It was all a blur, but probably because I was crying and screaming the whole time like a big manly guy not scared of anything. Han Solo and Chewie were fending off all the monsters on our rear, and I looked ahead of me and didn't swerve fast enough to get out of the way. Debbie zigged to the left, but I glanced off the rock wall ahead of me and sped down a dark tunnel. Knocked off balance, I struggled to regain control of this stupid speeder bike. Like, who made these for real? They are so dumb. I slammed into another wall and got tossed off the bike. I rolled down a long passage, getting so dizzy and watching sparks fly off the bike as it tumbled down the shaft ahead of me. I heard the bike smash into the wall with a loud crash and I tumbled into it. I got up, shook the stars out of my eyes, and realized I was alone. I dusted myself off and mumbled to myself, Yore, das a. The bike had spun around and its headlights were shining down the entrance of the tunnel through which I had crashed. There was a swarm of monsters hurtling towards me and there was no sign of my friends. I said a quick prayer to George Washington as I solemnly accepted my death and I growled like this. Grr. With a little gassy toot. Suddenly, a panel opened up in front of me and a machine gun rose out of the ground. With a loud thunk it started whirring and spinning and went drat a tat 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 a tat. I watched as it mowed down all of the creatures. Eventually, the machine gun slowed down and stopped shooting and smoke wafted out of the muzzle. I heard a mechanical whir behind me and a feminine figure in a spacesuit stepped out of a hidden door in the wall and said, "Sorry for the tight squeeze." Ad break. Ayo my ding-a-ling dong nasties. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors at Disney. Hope you guys are enjoying this sick crossover episode with Disney's hashtag Star Wars hashtag Star Wars hashtag Han hashtag Solo hashtag Han Solo hashtag Chewbacca hashtag Chewie hashtag Nasty hashtag Jack hashtag Nasty Jack. Make sure you follow up with their 66666 social media with all these very cool trending tags. Writing in this week on Nagging Nasties is Ryan Johnson. Hey Nasty Jack, this is totally how my Star Wars trilogy would have gone lol. I totally love how you subvert people's expectations and holy wow, maybe you can help me write some movies and stuff sometime. Okay gross, can you please frick off Mr. Ryan? Your writing for your movies is so craptacular and I would never ever want to write a movie with you because Nasty Jack is a big boy and you are a sad little boy. So yeah. Thanks for writing in, but you are a dirty nasty piece of shrimp at the bottom of a trash bag. Okay. Back to the show. I'm Dr. Jelly Litany, but you can call me Jelly for short, said the woman in front of me. I'm Nasty Jack. You've probably heard of me. She was like, oh yeah for sure, come with me because we have some stuff to take care of and we don't have much time. I was like Yoza with a total Abraham Lincoln. Thanks for saving me my dude. I said. Oh yeah, I just installed that machine gun this week. Isn't it thank A.F. We stepped through the door into a spacious laboratory. There were gadgets and nerdy stuff everywhere. I followed her through another door into a room that was filled with computers and monitors showing security cameras scanning every angle of the mines. Oh, it's my friends. Chewie was like, nice, yeah, okay, looks like they are still okay. I'm gonna fill you in while we get strapped up and ready to save them. But yeah. So these ugly bad monsters have been terrorizing us ever since we started drilling into the mines on this side of the moon. We are not sure exactly what triggered it, but at one point we were excavating a giant hole and after we dug deep enough the monsters just started swarming out of the ground. Wow. I noticed that she had Minecraft up on one of her computers. I looked at her and was like, wow, that's so crazy. But you like Minecraft? She was like, yeah dumb. I was like, what if I put my Minecraft bed next to yours? Haha, just kidding. Unless. She was like, okay sure whatever, but yeah, it looks like your friends are heading straight towards the nest. I've got something special we can use to help get us to your friends safely because it looks like they are heading straight for the monster's nest. I gasped and was like, oh gosh, maybe we could just abandon them lol, I don't know them that well. She laughed like this lol and was like, wow, you sure are a funny guy, Nasty Jack. I blushed but didn't mention that I wasn't joking. I followed her into a massive dark room. She was like, alright, check these babies out. She turned on the lights and in front of us were two approximately 15-foot tall mech suits. She was like, do you like it? I was like, yeah, hold on, I just got to add the finishing touch. Out of my pocket I unrolled a decal and slapped it onto the back of the mech suit. It said in big bold letters, Nasty Jack. This audiobook is copyrighted by Nasty Jack Cool Storytime Incorporated.